शुरू करें।
ठीक है।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक खैरियत से होंगे। आज की हमारा टॉपिक मेजर अजीज़ भट्टी की हिस्ट्री है। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। ये अंग्रेज़ी ज़ुबान में होगी, तो चलिए हम अपनी वीडियो स्टार्ट करते हैं। मेजर अजीज़ भट्टी 6 अगस्त 1928 to 11 September 1965, born as Aziz Bhatti, but usually known as Raja Aziz Bhatti, was a military officer in the Pakistan Army who was cited with the Nishan Haidar for his action of valor during the Battle of Burki and Second War of India in 1965. Prior to gaining officer commission in the Pakistan Army, Major Bhatti served in the Pakistan Air Force as an enlisted personnel and left the Air Force and corporal in the favor of transferring to the Army. His brief career in the military was subjected to be as a staff officer working on administrative position in the Pakistan Army, and widely popular as the Muhafiz-e Lahore. Raja Aziz Bhatti was born in British Hong Kong on 6th August 1928 into a Punjabi Rajput family. His family originally hailed from a small village that was located about 110 miles away from the Gujarat district of the Punjab in India, who had immigrated to British Hong Kong after his father and two uncles found employment in the Hong Kong police force. His father, Muhammad Abdullah Bhatti, was an alumnus of the Queen's College in Hong Kong, who later served as an inspector in the Hong Kong police force. Aziz Bhatti was educated in Hong Kong, where he completed his matriculation and attended the Queen College in Hong Kong, but his education was halted due to the Japanese invasion and occupation of Hong Kong in 1941. He was drafted in the Imperial Japanese Navy in 1944, first serving at the rank of a seaman recruit and is the tower watchman before being directed to attend the officers' school offered by the Imperial Japanese Navy due to his educational qualifications. However, in December 1945, the Bhatti family relocated to India and Aziz Bhatti enlisted to join the Royal Indian Air Force as an airman in June 1946. After the establishment of Pakistan in 1947, Bhatti joined the Pakistan Air Force and promoted as corporal in the Pakistan Air Force, which he continued to serve in the Air Force until 1988. Bhatti was a prospective candidate to join the former Air Force Academy in Rizalpur and was known to be a brightest that the Air Force and seen in its early years. On 21 January 1948, Bhatti submitted an application to the Ministry of Defense asking to be transferred to the Pakistan Army, which was approved, and Bhatti was directed to attend the Pakistan Military Academy in Kakul in 1948. At the PMA in Kakul, he distinguished himself in study and athletics among his classmates and passed out from the military academy at the top of class in the class of the first PMA long course and was conferred with the Sword of Honor and the Norman Gold Medal by the ceremony chief guest, Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan. In 1950, he was commissioned as second lieutenant in the 4th Battalion of the Punjab Regiment. He was promoted as an lieutenant in 1951 till 1953, later promoted as an captain from 1953 until 1956. In 1956, Captain Aziz was sent to Canada to attend the staff course at the Academy Canadian Air Army Command and Staff College, where he remained in Canada until graduation from the Strategic Studies Course in 96. Upon returning to Pakistan, Captain Aziz was posted with the 7th Punjab Regiment as a General Staff Officer GSO until 1962. After being promoted as a major in the army in 1962, Major Aziz was taken in the faculty of the School of Infantry and Tickets in Quetta, which he remained until 1964. From January 1965 till May 1965, Major Bhatti served as a General Staff Officer of the 7th Punjab Regiment, but was later posted as the commander of two military companies after the Indian Army launching the invasion of crossing the international borders in September 1965. Leading the military companies, Major Bhatti was initially deployed on the forward position of the BRB Canal near the Burki area that falls in the vacancy of the Lahore district in Pakistan side Punjab. Official engagement with the Indian Army took place between 7 10 September when the Indian Army began its push of capturing that the Burki sector through artillery and armory in a view of entering in Lahore. Despite Indian Army offered of relatively easily capturing of the Burki sector through the BRB Canal, the outnumbered military companies under Major Bhatti had forced the Indian Army to engage in head-to-head cabinet during the night of the 7 September 1965, and the fighting continued till the next 3 days, despite Indian Army having numerical advantage. In spite of the defense of the Burki sector through the BRB Canal and had less importance in the views of military strategics works in the army GHQ in Rawalpindi. The defense of the Burki sector was ferocious and tenacious that Indian Army armory had to halt its plans of capturing Lahore but to focus of capturing the Burki sector and destroying the bridge connecting the BRB canal. It is unclear why the Pakistan Army did not send the reinforcement teams to provide the backup to Major Bhatti teams, and the questionnaire based controversy was later generated on the why Major Bhatti and his teams were left alone to fight bravely for a long time. Despite being offered to see his family in Lahore and rest of Major Bhatti refused to take up the offer and instead told an army sergeant that do not recall me. I do not want to go back. I will shed the last drop of my blood in the defense of my dear homeland. Major Bhatti moved towards building up the trenches and positions himself towards forward observation to view the enemy armory movement, where the would often stand for a better view to give order to the artillery units on which direction to the fire the muzzled shell from the how desert. On 10 September 1965, Major Bhatti was on a routine when he stood up from his trench to observe the enemy position despite being warned by the army sergeant to take cover and move out of the target. The advice was unheeded by Major Bhatti and justified his action of taking a better view of before order the artillery Thoroughly after targeting the Indian Army's armory, Major Bhatti was eventually hit by the tank shell on the shoulder and was mortally in the impact on instant. Major Bhatti was 37 years old at the time of his death. Major Bhatti was buried on the courtyard of his ancestral home at Landial, a small village near Gujarat, Punjab in Pakistan. In 1966, the federal government respected the recommendations and announced to posthumously award the Nishan Haidar for his gallant and actions of valor during the defense of Burki. Allah Hafiz.